Only one of my closers was able to cash collect over $93,000 by using this simple method. It literally is a system plus the actual good closing structure to close 92% of every single deals at a good 60% show up rate. I want you to realize that this system is very replicatable towards your business, and I want you to copy it and paste it and see how your revenue, how your close percentage, and how your show up rate literally increases. Look at this right here. This is over 21 calls without using paid ads. If we use paid ads, it's the same system. Absolutely nothing changes. Nothing changes. So in this video today, I'm going to show you the exact info bulletproof system that I've used for my client, Jake Ryan. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can teach this to your closers, what your closers should be doing, what your closers should be closing at, how they should be closing. But before I step too far into that, I want you to realize that this will never work. It's never going to work if you don't have a good foundation, right? So let's talk about the foundation right here. So foundation. The foundation of your business is everything, right? Even though we're doing organic, we fill our stuff up with YouTube videos, right? So usually we get the lead, right? So if the lead comes from YouTube, IG, an ad, or whatever it is, right? We want to convert that with less than 5 minutes, right? In less than 5 minutes, we want to have some sort of a touch point, right? Whether it be a text message, and I'm talking a blue text message, right? This text message has to be blue. So it has to be blue, right? A text message, some sort of a DM, one of the two, as personalized as I can make it within 5 minutes. This lead should already be going through the nurture process, right? Now, talking about the nurture process, this is what I mean, right? In order for you to connect both of these things, they have to see a 7-11-4 rule. Right? Now, what do I mean by the 7-11-4? This is exactly what I mean, right? So they need to consume 7 hours worth of content, right? How do we do that? Whenever we send them DMs and text messages, we literally ask them, how far are you within the process, right? So in a scale of 1 to 10, the product is how to become a high ticket closer, by the way. So within the DMs, we literally ask them, okay, scale 1 to 10, how good would you say you actually are at closing, right? If they gave me like a 5, right, then we send them X video, right? If they send us maybe like, hey, listen, I'm a 3, we send them X video, right? Whatever video or whatever number they tell us, we're going to send them a video on, just because I want them to have the problem solved way before they actually jump on the call with us. That's how we're going to increase show up rate, by solving. So we are literally solving the problem beforehand. We solve the problem beforehand by sending them YouTube assets, which gets us 7 hours worth of watch time, right? Before the call. I want them to see as much of my client as possible, so they literally subconsciously trust them already, right? When we're talking about the 11 rule, this is 11 touch points, right? So touch points, right? Touch points being something like, let's say like IG, and then they see TikTok, and then they see YouTube, and then we convert into SMS, and then they see our email sequences, right? And then they see the voice messages, right? And maybe they see like a story. However much you want to show them and actually show them, I want you to give them as much as possible for them to see before the call. They're literally going to close 90% of the time if they see you way too often, right? Now, for number 4, this is 5 different places we got to have a conversation with them in, right? So usually we do like DMs, right? So it's like we do DMs, right? Or we either conversate through the YouTube, the actual comments, right? We do SMS, and we do group chats, right? So SMS is typically a setter, right? So the setter will often call them up, see if they're qualified, get them through the process, and then connect them, transfer the trust to the GC with the closer. So simply, what people ended up doing, right, when it comes to actual info products, is that they let the SMS automations. So it's like they let SMS automations do the work, right? SMS automations will not work right? Especially if you're doing high volume. Because how are you different from every single one of them? You might not have the best service. So for example, if we're selling high ticket sales, Andy Elliott is more reputable than us. Daniel G is more reputable than us. There's so many other people who have such bigger personal brands that are way more reputable than us. So how are we going to compare to them? We can't. They're gonna beat us 90% of the time. So how can we beat them? By making it as personalized towards the actual person behind the screen. We want to know them and actually touch them, grab them, whatever it is. We want to get them from X to X as quick as possible within 48 hours. So after you have this system, so after you have the YT funnel down, and it's all around YT. Now, I want to show you the system, the actual closing structure that got my closer at 92%, right? Because I want you to realize that this system doesn't require the best closer. It doesn't. I literally lob a lead so perfect that the closer is replaceable. You want your system to run fully on a system rather than people. Because people are replaceable. People have emotion. They convey an emotion and they justify with logic, right? So if your closer is emotional or whatever it might be, right, I don't want him to lose the sale. I want him to still get it, right? So let's start here. Connection stage, right? So instead of saying like, hey, where you from? What do you do? Right? It's literally such a starter conversation, right? So, and I want you to realize the only reason why we ask this is because these guys, if it's especially B2C, B2B even, right? A typical closer goes like, hey, so they say, hey, they talk about the weather, right? Like, why? Like, I jumped on the call to talk about money, not the weather, right? Like hobbies right away, right? Hobbies, like, etc., whatever it might be. We don't care about this stuff. I promise you, they don't. We build rapport by me and you having the same convo starter as like, hey, you want to make money? I'm making money. Let's make money together. Instead of, hey, how's the weather? You know, what are your favorite hobbies? To build rapport. We build rapport throughout the pitch. We literally start straight to it. And it's such a pattern interrupt, right? Because up to a point, they've jumped on so many calls that they know how these calls are going to go. Whenever you hit them straight up with this, they will know what hit them, right? They're instantly going to start opening them up. It's like, yeah, I mean, man, like, absolutely. Like, I've been doing maybe Walmart. I've been doing Amazon FBA. Hasn't been working out. They instantly are within the pitch, right? Now, second thing you got to do after that, as soon as you start opening them up, I want you to realize you have to this is the situation stage, right? So, for example, this is a lot of proving, right? After you ask them how much money are you making or making money, they're gonna tell you their situation. So they go hand on hand, right? This is the first W, right? So this is a 4W system, right? This is the what. So what is it, right? So now you're proving the question. Okay, you work in a warehouse. So how's that, my man? Right? This is the question you could ask, right? How long has that been going on for, right? So sometimes when a prospect is so much in pain, they're gonna tell, yeah, man, I've been working at a warehouse. I absolutely hate it. Move on to this question. Okay, I mean, how long has that been going on for, bro? Right? You instantly you're building so much rapport by asking the right questions in the right order, right? So for example, if it's like, yeah, I absolutely hate it, man. Like, okay, cool. I mean, how many hours a day you're doing that for, right? If it's a warehouse, right? Piece 1 and 2 together, right? If it's a warehouse, okay, it's shit, man. I mean, it seems like you've been working a lot. How many hours is it, man? Right? Literally make them, because the prospect won't listen to you. They won't listen to you. You might have the picture perfect product, but they're only going to listen to you the moment that they say the problem themselves, that they see the situation awareness themselves. They're never going to listen to you. So if a guy is absolutely in shambles and they have the terrible, I'm talking like terrible situation, make them repeat it towards you. You have to make them repeat it, make them realize, right? You make them say it themselves, because once they say it themselves, they're gonna believe it. You're gonna tap into the subconscious. Okay, so number 2, right? This would be the type A prospect, the one you have to ego drop, right? So when it comes to an ego dropper, typically a guy, let's say This is 1 out of 10 people, but you're gonna get these every now and then, right? When somebody's making 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, right? It's either one or two things, right? You gotta ego drop them or you gotta ego lift them, depending on the person who they are, right? If it's the guys like, yeah, I'm making 10K a month, bro, it's pretty good, right? If they say it's pretty good, or they're kind of coming off and a little bit cocky, right? Make you seem like an authority figure. Like, okay, cool, man. I mean, like 10K a week, 10K a day. Is it 10K profit? I said, no, it's actually 10K a month. I was like, oh, okay. So we're at that stage. Okay, cool. I mean, what has been keeping you stuck from doing that? I mean, like, what's been keeping you stuck at 10K for so long, right? Literally make it a problem, because 10K has to be a problem for them, right? I mean, like, how long have you been stuck at 10K for, right? Because obviously you're making more than the prospect themselves. You have to be making more than the prospect themselves. They can't be making more than you, and you have to show that, right? So it's kind of like rage baiting them in a sense. You have to rage bait them in order for them to buy into you, right? Because if you're making 50K in a month, right, you want to make seem like you're making 50K a month is a problem as well, right? So it's like, holy shit, you're making 10K a month, bro. 50K a month for me is actually a struggle. I said, how you been doing with 10K a month? Right? Make it an issue that they don't know, right? Make them wake up, because 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to be the rich friend group. They're going to be the richest friend in the friend group, right? So make them realize that there's bigger dogs, right? That's for a person that's doing good for themselves. We want to get them to the next level, right? So with the what, this is still the first W, right? This is the first financial question. Okay, so realistically, this is just like another probing question, right? I tend to use either one of these depending on the prospect, right? Because obviously the prospect jumped on the call. If the system is right, if your system is right, they already know they have to put a 5-figure, 4-figure, 6-figure investment, whatever it might be. I start probing the question, right? I was like, I mean, you're on the call, man. I mean, it seems like you're doing good for yourself, or it seems like you need to do better for yourself. What makes you feel like you need an investment in order for you to do that? I mean, as opposed to like YouTube or the free assets, what makes you feel that you need to do this investment today? Right? So this isn't really to test if they want it or not. This is just to tap into their subconscious, right? Subconscious, right? I want them, right, to literally get hypnotized into them saying it themselves, right? So you got to let them speak it. Let them speak it that they need this investment, that they need this today. They absolutely need it. And you're only going to do that by changing the way that they speak. Literally probe the question. Okay, cool. I mean, like, what makes you like feel like you need it or want it, right? It's like, yeah, I want this, right? So literally you're almost, again, probing them into saying the right thing and subconsciously messing them up, right? So by me saying, hey, what makes you want this? They're going to say, yeah, I want it. I was like, okay, now you're probing them, right? I was like, you want it or you need it? I was like, because obviously you don't need it, right? I was like, you want it. So now you're probing them. So now they're literally subconsciously tricking themselves into needing something that you're selling them, right? Every single time that they say, I want, or I'm trying to get to 30K, or I'm trying to get to X, I was like, are you trying to, or are you actually going to get there? Start probing them, right? Because they're literally subconsciously going to get into the sale by you literally tapping into their mind and making them say it over and over and over again, right? Like a 30K a month. I mean, you're at 10K, you're trying to get a 30K. A 30K a month person wouldn't say they want it. They say they need it, and they're going to get there. So are you a 30K person, or what type of person are you? Right? So now you're, again, subconsciously tapping into their subconscious and actually selling them by selling them themselves, right? This is another probing question, and I do it all the time, right? So like more questions would be something like this, right? So it's like, it's just getting them to open up, right? Because some prospects, like, they're so close-ended that they just won't tell you anything, right? So here's some of the questions you could essentially talk about, right? So it's like, okay, I mean, like, tell me more about that. So if it's like a situation where they've been stuck at Walmart for 3 years, okay, tell me more about it. Like, what's behind it? Like, why now? You know what I mean? Like New Year's is about to be like 3 months away, 4 months away. Like, what made you do it 4 months earlier, right? I was like, can you walk me through your company's decision-making, like progress, or can you walk me through the qualities of choosing it right, or whatever it might be, right? Wherever they're at, you're going to meet them at it, right? And just keep asking questions. Have them open up about their situation, right? So if it's a mother thing or whatever their issue is, right? However they jump on the call, they're going to give you their objection, right? They're literally going to tell you right away what their objection is. Explore that and make them realize that that way of thinking is going to keep them broke, or it's going to keep them from getting X, right? So now moving forward. So this is the first like fake jab, I like to call it, right? This is just really them having that commitment, right? So it's like having that commitment, but then also backing down, right? So two ways, right? It's simply saying, I mean, cool, brother. I mean, like essentially like you're doing good for yourself, right? In 3 months, where's it that you want to be? You want to be at 30K a month. Okay. So if 30K a month is the right number, right? Why not just double down on what you're doing right now? Right? Maybe just take more shifts, do double the input. What is it that you got to do in order for you to get 30K a month with what you're already doing? Right? This is just like a fake job, just to getting them again to advance into the sale, right? So 30K a month is the number that they want. You never want to give a number that subconsciously people know that they can't hit, right? So for example, 10K a month. Everybody wants to hit 10K a month. Make a different goal, 12K a month, 11K a month, 9K a month, something that they know that is possible, and literally subconsciously say it over and over and over again. 30K a month, 30K a month, a 30K a month person, 30K a month product, 30K a month ideal like prospect or whatever it might be, right? Start saying it over and over and over again. You're gonna get the sale, right? Now, when it comes to problem awareness stage, right? What do you feel is like the biggest thing? So now you're asking two different things, right? So this is the first W. This is the first W. Here's the where. So where do you want to be at? Where do you want to be at? That's the where you want to be at. Here, this is the what. So it's another what, right? So let me write it down for you. So this is the what's stopping you stage, right? This is just really probing into their actual like problem and their situation, right? So let me show you something. This is the structure, right? It's the same structure. It's on words, but I want you to see it in an actual system, right? So the first probing questions, like what are they doing? So it's their occupation, their qualifying questions. This is really the intention behind it, is to qualify, right? Now, where do they want to go in life, right? This is their goals, right? You want to connect their situation right now to their goals. The only situation that you need to fix is the in between. Why haven't you gotten that yet, right? It's like, why is that your goal, right? Figure out it on the call. This is their pain point. What's their pain point? Usually people's pain point is like not enough money, trying to help mother and father, trying to help their family, which is like son, daughter, girlfriend, or whatever it might be, right? Now, in the situation we are right now, it's like, what have you got that goal? I mean, it seems like you're doing Walmart. You want to get to 30K a month because of your mother. What have you gotten it yet? So now you're constructing the product towards the actual person. Like, what's stopping you, right? This is 9 times out of 10 going to be their self-limiting belief, right? Yeah, I just don't have enough time. Or like, yeah, I got scammed before. 9 times out of 10, they scam themselves because they didn't put enough time into it, right? So it's time, money, mentorship, whatever it might be, right? Ask him and figure it out on the call, right? What's stopping like you from getting there? This is, again, you're going to double down, right? Why haven't you gotten that goal? Okay, what's stopping you from getting it though? If you get 2 separate questions, figure out why you got 2 separate answers. Figure out why you got 2 separate answers. Ask the question again, just in a different format, right? That's going to be their selling point. If it's time, why they failed literally 2 months ago, make the perfect product so this doesn't require that much time, or where this is going to save them their time. Make it literally perfect for them so they can't say no, right? And obviously, if you had the right guidance, how far would you go? And that's when you start pitching, right? So going back into the bulletproof system, this is you in the problem awareness, right? This is like, okay, what's stopping you from getting there? Like realistically, right? So this is the first 2 to 3 bullet points. I was like, okay. I mean, like, why do you feel like it's not enough? Like, what's stopping you from getting to the X factor, right? They're probably going to say time, mentorship, got scammed. They're going to give you so many limiting beliefs. You're going to have to dig into every single one of them, right? If somebody doesn't have any limiting beliefs, then question them, right? I was like, okay, cool, man. I mean, it sounds like you're in the right, like, mind space. Why haven't you made it yet, though? Right? Again, ask the question in a different format. They're going to give you the right answer, right? If they don't give you an answer right away, ask it again. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, like, if mentorship you bought got you 5K, right? Why not double down? Or like, okay, then why are you here on the call? Keep probing until you find the right answer, right? Keep digging and digging and digging until you get why they haven't been successful. They're literally going to tell you, yeah, it's my friend's mentality. It's this, it's that, it's whatever. Keep answering the question, right? Keep digging and digging and digging. It's like an onion, right? They're going to give you a smoke screen, right? Solve it. They're going to give you an objection. Solve it. They're going to give you a time objection. Solve it. Keep digging until they literally tell you what it is. What it is. And then, after they tell you what it is, make them blame themselves. Make them blame themselves because they won't listen to you. They're looking at you as an authority figure, yes, but they also hate you up to this point. Make them not hate you because the more you start problem awareness, right, they're gonna hate you. It's like, yo, screw this guy. This guy's calling me a loser. This guy's calling me X amount of things, right? Make them realize that you're here to save them, right? So literally, as soon as you start pushing, you keep pushing, you keep pushing, you keep pushing, right? Literally back off for a little bit. I was like, I mean, yeah, like the reason why I'm like being so hard on you right now is because I see something in you, right? Something I haven't seen before. But obviously, like I want you to realize that up to this point, it has been your fault. And I want you to realize that, right? Do you know why? And they're gonna say, yeah, I can see why. Maybe it's because I haven't put enough time. I was like, I mean, you didn't, or like you haven't, or you did. You didn't put enough time, right? Make them reinforce everything, right? Because the biggest thing about a prospect is they're always gonna have a limiting belief, no matter what. It's always gonna be a limiting belief. Yeah, I mean, maybe I didn't do enough. Maybe, or you didn't have enough time. Maybe, or just didn't put enough time. Make them solidify that they're the problem. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna submit to it. They're gonna listen to you, right? Their emotions are gonna change. They realize, like, damn, maybe I am the fuck up. Maybe I am the one who messed up, right? Now, after them, now that you have them hooked, right? Now this is the personality tester, how sold they actually are. So after you probing and probing and digging and digging and digging, ask him. I was like, okay, man, so if everything aligns, right, with what it is that you want, and if we can even get you there, right, is there any reason why you want to move forward today on the call? If they say there is a reason, right, then you keep asking again and again and again, right? They want to go like some kind of BS, right? Okay, then ask them, right? Keep connecting the person that they are now to the person that they want to become in 3 months and fix that in between because they don't realize that they're never going to get to X goal if they don't fix this. So fix this little median ground and fix it and fill in the gap. Make it so clear that this is the exact blueprint to where you want to go. So for example, right, subconsciously again, I was like, okay, bro, let me ask you a question, right? So that version of you that you mentioned early in like 3 months, right? So the one making like maybe like 5K a month, what kind of decision making progress do you think they're doing? Or what kind of investments do you think they're doing, right? Because obviously you want to get to 30K a month, right? Let's say you're at 30K a month in like 6 to 8 months, which is, it's not that hard, right? What do you think that person would do in order for you to multiply that times two? So if you're doing 30K a month, what do you think he's going to have to do in order to get to 60K a month? Invest in themselves, right? So make them agree, right? Make them say it themselves. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, once you're 100K a month, I mean, tell me, Mr. Prospect, what is it that you have to do in order to get to 200? And they're going to keep filling in the gap themselves, right? Because like at the end of the day, all that matters is the mini steps, right? Because right now we're at 1x, right? Right now I'm at a 3x just because I took the 1x step. I'm trying to multiply my income. The only way for me to do so is by starting a business, starting a hustle, starting something, starting it with the right people, right? And I'm not even worried about the 1x. By the way, this is a 1x call, right? Most of our students are in the 2 and 3x. They're trying to multiply their money. We're trying to we're trying to get you to X amount, right? So in order for you to get to the 2 to 3x, you're going to have to get over this hump, right? If you get over this hump once, you can get it over again and again and again. Once you get to the 2x, you're going to multiply your money one more time. And you're going to do it one more time. And what do you think once you're at 3x, what do you think you're going to do? Multiply it again, right? So it's going to have to require some genuine investment into yourself, into somebody else, into your time for you to get it back. Does that make sense? And they're going to keep subconsciously getting them, right? Connect the X amount of month per money or whatever it is towards the person that they want to become. Keep connecting the dots over and over and over again, whether it be with some sort of like storytelling or maybe like this, what I just broke down right here, right? And keep connecting that version, which they are, the shitty version they are of themselves, to the new one. you're going to get them 9 times out of 10 to agree with you. So you keep proceeding to sell, and you go back to the question. I was like, okay, I mean, with that being said, like, do you see it now, right? Okay, so like any reason why you wouldn't move forward with the call today, right? If they say again no, then keep going through this until they say yes. Fill their fill their fill their subconscious with the right steps. You're gonna get there, right? So again, if they say no, it's like, how come? I mean, like, okay, what's preventing you from actually making that step, right? So, and then keep probing them, right? I was like, okay, cool. I mean, like, so let's say, right, we were able to help you with XYZ. What sort of outcome would that bring for you, right? Like, what is it that you're trying to, like, let's say we did help you. What is it that it would do for your life, right? So keep probing deeper, because there's something deeper that you didn't get it the first time. You shouldn't ever get a no in your sales call. You should never get a no. If you get a no, then you didn't probe enough deeper in the problem awareness. You didn't solve everything. They're not sold. So before you keep moving forward, make them sold on the fact, right, that the reason why they're not at 30K is because of them. If you start selling earlier than that, you're going to get a no every single time, right? So now, once you get a yes, right, you keep asking. Now you find the solution. Find the solution to their problem, right? Very, very simple. I was like, oh man, so I'm like, we've been talking today, right? You told me that maybe you got scammed, or like you told me like X, right? So have you done anything to try and get 30K a month, right? So find what they've tried and figure out why they failed, right? Connect that version, the old version of themselves, to the new one, right? So what did you do? How did that work out? Was it drop shipping? Okay, how was it? Why did it fail? Was it not enough marketing? Keep filling in the gaps, right? If they say maybe like they didn't try once, or they tried too many times, they tried wholesaling, they tried Amazon, they tried X, right? Ask them, okay, what makes you try again, man? I was like, yeah, I just have this dream about myself. I really want it. I just don't know if it's for me, right? So this is when I say this analogy, right? This analogy is very simple. I call it like the fag analogy or the restaurant analogy, right? It's like if you go to a burger joint and you don't like the burger, does that defeat all burgers for you? Like you're never going to get a burger in your entire life? It doesn't, right? You're going to get another burger. You're going to keep trying because you're going to try and find the best, right? Because that's human nature. We want to get the best. So if you invest once, are you just going to completely quit the business? You're not, right? So again, make them connect their old self to the new self. What would that new self do? And subconsciously trick them, right? Because a 30K like a month version would find a new burger joint. Yeah, because a 30K a month person would invest again until they get to the 60K, because a 30K a month person doesn't quit. Again, keep connecting the new version of themselves to the old one, right? A prospect should be a different person after they leave the call. If they're not, then you did something wrong, right? Okay, now here, you got to tap into their consequence, right? Because now, up to this point, they probably believe that they can hit 100K in a month, right? So you got to bring them back to reality, right? I was like, okay, man, like out of curiosity, right? Let's say you didn't move forward. Let's say like your situation got worse. Maybe you got laid off, right? Maybe you got cut hours. Maybe you stayed in the same spot, right? Like, what would that for you then? Like, what would that like do for you, right? They're gonna tell you like, yeah, bro, like my life would be terrible. I wouldn't be able to help out my relatives, etc., etc., etc. Right? So now it's just a simple question: are you willing to settle for that, man? Like, is that something you're willing to settle? Because obviously you realize you're gonna be at the top of your standpoint. You're at the top right now. You're making the money that you want. When you're at the top, guess what's gonna happen? It's the only way to go is down, right? But when you start a business, when you actually keep going again and again, you're at the bottom 24/7. I'm at the bottom. I'm at a pretty good bottom though. My bottom is way higher than your top, right? But the way I look at life is that I'm at the bottom and the only way to go is up. Right now, the way you're looking at it and the way a 30K a month person should look at it is, hey, listen, I'm at the bottom. I'm making 30K a month. The only way to go is up. The way you're looking at it is like, hey, listen, I'm at 5K a month. It can only get worse from here. So by you switching your mindset, now you can get a 30K a month. But I mean, seriously, man, like you jumped on this call. It's September 1st. You could have done it January 1st. Why now? Like, what is it now? Because obviously, like, you could have did like a new year, new plan, new you. Why now? And then again, make them double down on the fact that they want to get 30K a month, right? And then agree with them. agree with them because they're gonna tell, yeah, bro, because I gotta get pumped. I gotta change my life. I gotta do X. I gotta do X. I gotta do X. Right? And then again, probe them again. I was like, okay, cool. But I mean, like, why now though? Again, like, because obviously I get a lot of people telling me the same stuff. Right? Why not push it back maybe like a week or two? It's not that long, is it? So like, it's almost like you're rage baiting them, right? They're selling themselves into your own product, but you're rage baiting them by saying, okay, why not push it back like 2 to 3 months or like maybe a couple months, maybe a month wouldn't hurt. It's not bad, right? So that way you have time to think about it. Maybe you get your stuff together. Maybe you quit your job. When not in a month, they're going to double down on their answer. 10 times out of 10, they're going to double down because they want to prove you wrong. So now you're in the fence with them, right? Now you're helping them get to X goal. Instead of going against them and clashing, you're going with them to X goal, right? So everything there was just ammo, right? Everything that I literally went through today was ammo for this. This is the transition stage, right? So I'll say, okay, brother, like I'm here to help you one way or another, right? Whether it be with us or whether it be with somebody else, right? Man to man, what is it that you genuinely need from me to get you to 30K a month? Just lay it out to me, man. And then again, they're gonna start selling themselves. Hey, listen, I need commitment. I need time. I need X. All right, you give them that, right? I was like, okay, cool. But what is it that you need though, right? Because you could get that for free. You can get it for free. You can get your mom to keep you accountable, right? You can get maybe like an investment, like at a loan. What is it that you need from me to get you to 30K a month? Now you're tapping into the emotion. Literally be emotional when it comes to this, right? Man to man, right? You're 23-year-old, you're making 5K a month. What do you need for me to get you to 30K a month? What is it? What exactly is it that you need, right? Ask him that question and then shut up, right? Make him vent to you. Because up to this point, right, I'm not trying to chase this guy for a sale. I want to attract him to our product. So I'm sitting back, right? I want him to attract his energy towards me because he's going to keep selling himself. Okay? I want you to realize that. So now, based on what they are, basically like I've said, right? Okay, so after they keep selling them like themselves to you, you give them a little bit of hope. Just a little bit of hope. Don't say, hey, listen, what we're doing is absolutely perfect for you. Give them a little bit of hope, right? Say, hey, listen, I already told you, we work with 2 to 3 Xers, people doing 10 to 30K a month, right? Give me a good reason why I should even let you in, bro. Because quite frankly, you're gonna be our lowest paying client. You're gonna be our lowest earned client, right? Why you? So make them again double down on themselves, right? They're gonna keep selling themselves over and over and over again. By this stage, you're already 2 times, right? They already sold themselves 2 times into you. After this, it just goes to the presentation, right? So it's labeling the issue, featuring the solution, the overall outcome of the prospect, and clarity and confirmation, right? So after you lay down every single one of these, right, then it's just a clarification. Okay, does that make sense, right? So do you see how that can solve X problem, right? And then after that, I double down on them, right? I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, before I go into anything else, right? Am I the type of person you like working with, right? Does this system in itself, me aside, my coach aside, do you think the system would work for you no matter what? Yes. Okay, cool. So let's do it, man, right? This pitch is geared in a way like, fuck it, let's do it, right? Because I want you to realize when your friends or your boys or your girlfriend or whatever says, hey, let's go out to eat, right? Yeah, let's go to In-N-Out. Oh, yeah, let's go to Chipotle. What are you going to say? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it, right? They're going to keep convincing us, nah, you know what, like, let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. Okay, they're going to try to convince you to go there. What do you say at the very end? Fuck it, let's do it, right? That's the same way we're pitching this presentation, right? So let's fucking get it to 30K a month, bro. You, again, over and over and over again. When you're labeling the issue, right? Remember when you said you were having trouble with their issue, right? Which is leading you to the consequence of that issue, right? Say, hey, listen, let's get you to 30K a month. Subconsciously engrave it in their brain, right? Feature the solution. Okay, so the way we solve that for our clients, right? And then insert what it is that you're selling, right? When it comes to overall outcome for the prospect, right? So what does that mean for you, right? And you label it. It's like, so what does that mean from you? In order for us to take it to 5K a month, in order to get a 30K a month, this is what we need to do, right? This is going to be the outcome of your initial investment, right? By this point, they're already sold. Only thing you need to do, right, before you price drop is look at their body language, their tonality, and the way they're looking at you, right? If they're tense, right, they make a joke. right? So for example, the joke I like making to get them subconsciously out, because they're tense up to this point. You literally grill them, right? It's like, hey, listen, you like Latinos, right? So it's like, I was like, okay, Mr. Prospect, you like Latinos, right? I was like, yeah, I do, yeah, okay, cool. You ever like seen a girl or like a Latino, like a really hot girl? You couldn't ask for a number. You knew you probably could have got it, or maybe you didn't. You never know, right? That little unknown factor. You went away. Like, why didn't you go? I was like, you were too scared, right? Okay, cool. But what if you did go? And what if you did get the number? What would happen then, right? So now it's like, this is just an analogy for them to get them to realize that this product is their hot Latina, right? Oh yeah, because eventually that Latina is this product right here, right? I don't want this to go away from you. I don't want this to be another what if. I want to get you from 30K a month because you told me that you needed X and I want to get you to X. So let's do it, man. By then, guess what they're going to say? Fuck it, let's do it, right? So this is another thing that you do, right? It's like, I don't normally say this because it feels a bit salesy, but just so I can gauge of where you're at with this, like 1 to 10 analogy. There's different analogies that you could do, but get them away from the sale. Get them snap out of it because they're already sold. They just need that little push, right? By then, I literally just say, okay, cool, brother. So what we do, right, is, so by the way, your prices matter a lot, right? So if you're selling for something, like let's say you're selling something for 7K, right? And you're having to get, like, that's a scary number up front, right? Imagine me saying, hey, it's going to be 7K. I'm going to lose the sale simply because it's such a high number and I don't have time to process it. Yeah, the product is cool and all, but there's no way I'm paying 7K. They're going to be stuck on that, right? There's no certainty behind the product. So what we do, right? Very, very simple. So what we do is be like, okay, cool. So it's actually going to be 8K, right? It's going to be 8K. But the cool thing about it is today on this call, it's only going to be 4K, right? After 2 months, once you get X goal, we're going to collect the other 4K. How's that sound? Yeah, so it's literally a no-brainer situation. So instead of me decreasing the price, I actually increase the price and it increases the value. Right? So by me collecting half up front and half whenever they hit their goal, it's like, oh shit, they're actually gonna get me there. It's not just a money grab, right? Because you don't want to do percentage, right? You don't want to do percentage. You don't want to do retainer. You want to do this. You want to split up your product in a way that it's perceived as such a high value product just because you know that you're going to collect the other 4K once they become successful. And that success could be monetarily, right? So for example, if it's agencies, maybe like 15 agency clients, maybe like 30K extra rev, it's a B2B, right? Maybe it's like 10K a month, right? Make something that you can hit over and over and over again, no matter what type of prospect you get. You're gonna close literally 92%, just like my closer did, every single time. On another video, I'm gonna be speaking about the phone setting and the DM setting that we do prior to the call. But I just want you to realize you're losing most of your money because the closer isn't good enough, right? You can have a hybrid closer, you can have so many things, but for your closer to cash collect $100,000 at a 92% like close rate and show up rate at 60%, you have to follow every single step and you're gonna do it here. Only thing that there is for you to do is increase ad spend, add another closer, and do it again. Double the input. If I add another closer to the system, which by the way, I have 3, but if I wanted to add another one, I just double what I'm doing already. The system is already working and I'm able to guarantee 93K, 100K, 150K per closer. All I need to do is just double what's already working. That's it. You want your foundation of the business to be ran on that. Let me just double what I already got doing. My only bottleneck should be hiring. And I already have a video on how to hire. So that's not even a bottleneck. So what is it that you're waiting for? Let's fucking do it.